Why, in your opinion, do you think Israel goes to war so often? Because if you look at their history, almost every single decade since their creation, they have fought a war. Do you believe there's any specific reason for that?
Well, basically because Israel, since its founding, has believed that it would never really be accepted in the Arab world. There was a kind of recognition that their presence in the Arab world was artificial. They came from the West. Their orientation was always towards the West, towards the great powers. Even today, Israel wants to become a member of the European Union. Well, you would think, if you want to be in the European Union, why don't you move to Europe? Why are you in the Arab world? Why are you in the Middle East?
Thank you. Everybody, thank you. Please have a seat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It is wonderful to see all of you. And I am proud to welcome you to the first ever event held at the White House to honor Jewish American Heritage Month. This is a pretty fancy group here, pretty distinguished group. We've got senators and representatives, we've got Supreme Court justices and successful entrepreneurs, rabbinical scholars, Olympic athletes. I'm looking forward to the reading by Rabbi Alyssa Stanton, the performance by Regina Spektor. I know that my Chief of Staff, Rahm Emanuel, wanted to be here, but some of you know he is in Israel for the bar mitzvah of his son. And which is the diversity of talents and accomplishments represented in this room underscores the vast contributions that Jewish Americans have made to this country. Of course, it's impossible to separate the achievements of Jewish Americans from the struggles of Jewish people around the world. Even before we were a nation, we were a sanctuary for Jews seeking to live without the specter of violence or exile. As Jews sought freedom and opportunity in America, these waves of immigrants and generations that followed have helped to make America what it is. Every person in this room knows somebody, perhaps a mother or father, an aunt, an uncle, perhaps yourself, who exemplifies this heritage. Every person in this room stands at the end of an unbroken chain of perseverance, of a conviction that a better future is possible. That doesn't just offer a lesson to Jewish Americans, it offers a lesson to all Americans. And ultimately, that is what we are celebrating today. Yes, Jewish Americans have garnered success in industry and in government, as we can see by the guests gathered here today. Yes, Jews have helped to pioneer incredible advances in science and medicine across countless fields. But the contributions of the Jewish community to America run deeper. As a product of history and faith, Jewish Americans have helped to open our eyes to injustice, to people in need, and to the simple idea that we ought to recognize ourselves in the struggles of our fellow men and women. That's what's led Jewish advocates to fight for women's equality and workers' rights. It's what led rabbis to preach against racism from the Bima and to lead congregants on marches and protests to stop segregation.
Decenas de miles de ultraortodoxos se manifiestan por la segregación entre judíos. Las protestas han tenido lugar en varias ciudades de Israel contra la sentencia del Tribunal Supremo que obliga a que niñas askenazíes, más fieles seguidoras de los preceptos religiosos según sus padres, y sefardíes estudien juntas. Nuestra religión va antes que los jueces y nuestros rabinos son mejores. Una actitud de los padres ultraortodoxos de las niñas que ha llevado a la justicia a ordenar su encarcelación, ya que se negaban a acatar la ley y a llevar a sus hijas al colegio.
That is what helped lead America to recognize and support Israel as a Jewish homeland and a beacon for democratic values. beginning mere minutes after its independence was declared. In fact, we have the original statement by President Harry Truman on display here today.
But massive rallies have also taken place in support of the IDF operation that left at least 9 dead. On Thursday, thousands of Israelis gathered outside the Turkish embassy to protest the country's involvement in the aid convoy.